I've had this handlebar mustache for over a year now. And tonight, I'm going to shave it, and I'm very nervous to do so. I grew this mustache out simply because I'm a part of the Movember Project, which is a men's mental health program to bring resources, cause conversation for people to talk about the simpler things that could help prevent a lot of male situations for them. And I've been doing that on and off now. And I've grown the mustache to where it could curl up, but I'd never done it to do the full thing. And then one day I just said, you know what, let's just do it. So I kept growing it out, and I actually had an old client give me wax that is a max hold, and it worked. And so I continued with it, and it's kind of funny because over this time frame, this mustache has been around to see, hear, and say a lot of stuff, good, bad, and everything in between. Hopefully more good. But over this time frame, a lot has happened, and it coincides with the mustache. And this has been a really strong year, a really tough year for me. And it's funny because this no longer became just facial hair, it became part of my new identity. And that's scary because now it's an external factor of who I am and not what I am or how I am or any of that, silly cliche stuff. I hate to say that, but along the way, this mustache has grown with me in a weird metaphysical way. But it coincides with me stepping into my own, pushing myself to go all in on my own business. And with that, because I'm not a extremely business savvy, that's not what I was in prior. So it's made me reach out and have to grow. As this became part of my identity, I started to meet more people. I started to become more social. And that is something that I get drained and get very nervous in social situations. And you're like, why would the guy with social situation nervousness grow a handlebar mustache? And I think that's why I did it. I think because this stands out so much. I think it forced me into growing. As the mustache grew, I was forced to grow, if you will. And so just getting out there and being in a little discomfort, or maybe not in full confidence of yourself, but you have to force it or push that to where you have the confidence with yourself. And I've noticed over time, my social interaction strength has become a stronger part of who I am. Part of my job is to communicate with strangers, build a relationship and connect with them, and then help them meet their goals, whatever they are. And starting a business doing that requires me to talk to more strangers and meet new people, and meet people that I might feel intimidated or nervous to talk to because they have certain status to them or whatever it is. And I didn't just do this because of the business, but I've noticed that the mustache became my visual identity to a lot of people, and that was how I became introduced to a lot of people. And so the reason I'm nervous is simply because this stands out so much, and I'm afraid initially, it's like, why would I do that? Because this makes me recognizable. But the lesson is that we can't stay the same person forever. And this can grow back, right? It's not a huge thing, but as this grew, my confidence grew. I learned to connect and collaborate and network with people. And if you can't stay the same or shouldn't stay the same person forever, it's because you're not going to grow. And I want to continue to grow as a person. I want to continue to grow as a business. I have a family to take care of, and going out on my own is scary. So at the same time, if this mustache isn't perfect and I still have to go out in public, that causes me to have a level of confidence I never had before. And yes, I was nervous to go out when I didn't have a great mustache, because it was like, well, people expected to look semi-perfect, at least from a quick visual standpoint. Um, so me shaving this tonight is because I'm ready to become a better person, a better business guy, a better clinician. A it's me becoming it's me being ready to move on to that next phase. So with that, a little bit of my identity might change, but that doesn't change who I am. And it doesn't mean that my personality and connection can't continue to do the same thing. Because over the year, I mean, people see this. I go on flights and people are like, oh my gosh, and they're pointing at me, and they're like, that's awesome. Or, I'm driving and I look over and someone in the passenger goes, oh my gosh, look, and they get the driver and they're looking and they're like, that's crazy. And they're laughing and they're like, that's crazy. Or restaurants, and I'll be walking and people stop me in the airport. Oh my gosh, my grandfather used to have a mustache like that and I loved it, and seeing you, I just realized how much I missed him. And that creates a conversation or a mini friendship, and it makes someone's day better just simply because I have a mustache, and they become so interested. It breaks that nervousness barrier and they talk to me, and that helps me talk to strangers as well. And then I think, and it was people from other countries and other walks of life, and it created a bond that was so instant, that's so hard to get, simply because I had a mustache. And a very like unusual mustache in today's day and age. And I think that's the beautiful part of it. And if a mustache simply can do that, I think we should carry that over into people just being curious about others and creating those bonds on a stronger, deeper level. Now that we know that we can do that with just something very surface level, which is a physical representation. So tonight I'm going to shave it because I'm ready to make to that next jump. And I think it's not because I necessarily want to. It's not because I have to. I just feel like the time is right. And also because the client that gave me that tin of wax, I ran out. And to me, that's a sign. You're ready. I didn't need an external sign, but having that as a little backup kind of like coincided with that, just gave me that little extra oomph. So it's just funny because somewhere along the way, this stopped being just facial hair, and it started to become me, and I started to learn from it, and now it has thus caused some growth or helped participate and push some growth that I never thought would come from just growing a mustache. But knowing that the pure joy, the instant joy that occurs with people just seeing this, if that can create bonds and create happy relationships, whether they're short or just simply acknowledging that another person exists and that we have things in common, um, that gives me hope in this kind of world. Um, and that tells me that we can do that as a species, as a human, in today's age in the 21st century. So yeah, I'm just rambling now, but tonight I'm going to shave this mustache that I've had for over a year, where I had it curled. So here we go. Oh,